Hi, fellow seekers. I'm Ryan, and this is RNS Ministries, and this is something a little bit different than what you're used to usually. Most of the content that you're used to are sermons that have been uploaded, and recently I've begun to do shorts from those sermons. In case you haven't got time to sit down for 40 or 50 minutes and listen to a sermon, the shorts that I release through the week are actually just little snippets from the sermon that you can actually kind of get caught up in, and you get the point of what the sermon was that week. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something new. God has really been moving me to get outside of my comfort zone. I'm not used to doing this kind of thing, like sitting in front of a camera and just and talking to you guys. Like, I'm not used to talking to YouTube's, one on one. This is very, very new and very different for me. But God's been developing in me this new series that I really think he wants me to do, called Developing His Worldview. And I'm calling it that because over my years spent in ministry, I have discovered that the American church has not been equipped with a biblical worldview. We've got we've got a syncretic kind of a worldview. We've got a blend of a whole bunch of different worldviews. Stats um, from some surveys suggest that 96% of Christians have a syncretic worldview. 96, like blend of all kinds of different worldviews. Like, an actual biblical worldview is actually a rare thing. It is not very common at all. And the goal of developing his worldview is going to be tackling current events. It's going to be tackling culture. It's going to be tackling entertainment, such as like The Chosen. I don't know that I'm going to cover too much of The Chosen, but there's a whole lot of content creators out there doing that kind of stuff. So I don't know that I'm going to take on The Chosen, but stuff like that. Movies, music, entertainment, that kind of stuff. And I'm also going to delve off into the realm of politics. Now, if you know me, this is not something that I like to do. I try to stay away from the subject of politics as much as I possibly can. Just personally speaking, I try to avoid the subject of politics because I understand that my calling is to preach the gospel. My job is not to preach politics, and I have purposefully stayed away from preaching politics and even talking about the subject for a very long time. I'm actually working on my second book, and it should be ready for publishing if everything goes well, later on this year sometime. I'm thinking probably sometime the fall. I'm still in the middle of writing this book, so um, but as I've been writing this book, there's been a lot of this stuff that I have started to tackle in here, and God has really kind of shaped me to be able to take some of this stuff on. And what I'm thinking and feeling that God is trying to get me to do is to tackle these subjects from a biblical point of view. Not picking like a politics, not picking a side, or on one side or the other, or even picking a third or fourth side or a fifth side. There's more than just two parties out there. There's all kinds of parties, and the idea is not to pick a particular side. It is to, what does the Bible have to say about this subject? Is this something that a Christian can support? Is it not? Because I've noticed here recently that there's a lot of stuff in the world of politics on all sides that are absolutely totally unbiblical. Like 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 how in the world Christians can think some of these things are okay is beyond me. Like it is I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinion, but biblically speaking, there is absolute truth out there, and our job is to pursue biblical truth. Jesus even says, "Ask, seek, and knock" in Matthew 7. Our job is to seek after this stuff and to do our best to pursue his worldview. You're not going to find this kind of content from me anywhere else but here. So if you are, part of the church, the local church here, and you're subscribed to this page, understand you're not going to find this on the church page. This is going to be exclusive to YouTube and the RNS Ministries page, because I really feel that this is something that God is calling me personally to, not necessarily the church. So I've decided to kind of tackle this on my own in this kind of realm. So what I'm going to do is, um, sermons come out on Tuesday. The shorts and stuff like that come out throughout the week that I've taken from the sermon, and just those little snippets of the sermon. Those come out throughout the week. Developing his worldview is going to come out on Fridays at noon. So hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that when these things come out, you can see them when they come out. This is season 1, episode 1 of Developing His Worldview, and the title of this is What's the Point? Well, this is the point, that we are going to be tackling subjects from a biblical worldview, and doing our best to try and break down how it is that we should be viewing the world around us, not from the influence of media or politics, not from the influence of popular culture and what's trending these days. Like, these things shouldn't be influencing our worldview at all. As a matter of fact, the only thing that should be influencing our worldview is the scriptures. And that's what we're going to attempt to do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to be 100% right all the time. I'm not going to say that. I am human, and I am fallible just as much as anybody else is. And I'm going to talk about these subjects from the best of my understanding at the time when I tackle these things. Again, thank you. Thank you for joining me on this journey, for seeking after God's heart. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to seek after him as Christians, and to get to know his worldview, not ours. And that is my prayer, is that you would develop his worldview. Again, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications Fridays at noon when this content comes out. Thanks for joining me, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode of Developing His Worldview. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.